Alright. What's up, Blueroof Nation? I'm Jonathan. This is Lawrence.
Hey, Lawrence, Lorenzo, whatever you want to call him.
Okay. Welcome to episode 2 of John's Corner. Something I tried to do about a year ago with Ashley and Saul to weird results. But we're trying it again. Ashley couldn't be here tonight, but we got Lawrence here with us. And so if you want to see the first episode, it should be up on YouTube, and if not, it's on the podcast Wolfcast, episode 13. And after these episodes are done airing on YouTube, they will be podcasted, like sent out there. So you can check them out on Wolfcast. Just for the episodes, it say Wolfcast, and then it says JC after it for John's Corner. You can check those out. But so let's get to it. All right, first up, Sundance is going on right now. I always want to go to Sundance.
Yeah.
Like that would be a lot of fun to go check out, like make a film, submit it to Sundance, and then go to Sundance.
To see your film. It's funny because I actually found out about Sundance through when I first started watching IFC, when I first discovered IFC. And they used to talk about it all the time.
You never heard of Sundance before that?
Never heard of Sundance. Well, you got to think. I mean, I got big on IFC, what, 97?
Oh, well, that's about right, yeah. Oh, man, that's the place where, like, Kevin Smith got, like, sold Clerks, and, like, back in the day, that's where indie films went to make their mark and get on the map. Oh, yeah. But now it's like, I got a list of 18 movies here that are preparing at Sundance, and most of them have, like, I think James Franco's like in 2 or 3 of them. They got Jennifer Lopez in some of them, like Ryan Reynolds. Oh. So for indie film, it's gotten really big and mainstream.
Yeah.
Like,
it kind of defeats the purpose. I mean, well,
no, they got Slam Fest. They got the second biggest one is South by Southwest out in Austin. So I mean, I guess that's kind of where you go now. But Sundance, I think, will always be the mother lode. Although I wouldn't mind getting into Cannes either.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so what we got is Brooklyn by director John Crowley. This sounds pretty cool. It's about a 1950s Ireland and New York. Anything that takes place in Ireland, I'm sold on. But this young girl has to choose between 2 men in 2 different countries. So I'm guessing like one guy in Ireland, one guy in the United States, and pick which one she wants.
Kind of like a Romeo and Juliet, modern.
Kind of makes it sound less interesting.
Whoa.
Do you like romantic comedies, or I guess romantic dramas?
Okay, when you say romantic comedy, it has to. It can't be too on the comedy side, and it can't be too on the sappy side.
Yeah. So no chick flicks, but a little romance never hurt anything.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Things that come to mind, like that.
I want to watch Sex Tape. That looks funny.
Sex Tape?
Yeah, with
Cameron Diaz and
Jason
Statham? No.
Is this Jason's call? Jason.
Yeah, from How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother, yeah.
Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
You name it.
Like that looks funny to me.
Yeah. That was one of those ones that got under the radar a little bit. I remember watching the trailers for that.
That shit looks funny. Like I'd watch that.
Yeah.
Or Harold and Kumar. That's a great romantic comedy.
That's kind of bending it.
I mean, it's kind of a stoner comedy, but he's chasing a girl the whole time. The whole movie's him chasing after Maria.
I
mean,
true.
I guess by that, man, every movie's a romantic comedy.
Yeah, in a sense.
Pretty much. All right, next up we got Digging for Fire by Joe Swanberg. The discovery of a bone and a gun send a husband and wife on separate adventures over the course of a weekend. I want to watch that. Just to understand it. They find a bone and a gun and then go on adventures.
You know what? Those movies that are real, like, just,
iffy.
Kind of iffy, kind of just vague like that in description. Like, those usually come out to be some of the best ones.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's enough of a hook that I'm like, all right, I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
I want to know who's in it.
Let's check it out. I have it pulled up. Let's see. What was the name of it that we're talking about?
See you.
See you in my dreams?
No.
I was like, what? Digging for fire. Oh, it's the second one. Alright, Digging for Fire. Stars Anna Kendrick. Orlando Bloom. Shit.
It's the only person I know.
Only name I recognize.
Okay, Anna Kendrick kind of sounds familiar.
She sounds familiar, but I don't know off the top of my head. Brie Larson. I don't know who that is.
Got me.
Looks pretty interesting though. It sounds pretty interesting. I'll check it out. Next up, we got Don Verdine by Jared Hess.
Of Sam Rockwell.
This is the one that I want to see because I'm into like I'm Catholic. I mean I'm Catholic, but I don't really practice, you know. But I'm into like stuff about Holy Grail and the Crusades. I'm real.
Pretty
I
much
studied the
angels
Crusades.
and demons.
Yeah.
And Da Vinci Code.
So this one is about a biblical architect that archaeologist. I'm sorry, that is hired by a local church to find faith-promoting relics in the Holy Land. Which Da Vinci Code, all that stuff is kind of about that, you know. You know the story of the Knights Templar, right? That they were the poorest order of knights. They went to Jerusalem. Overnight, they became the richest, most powerful order of knights. And rumor has it that they found the Holy Grail and they blackmailed the Catholic Church into becoming rich, which is also why we get, you know, where we get Friday the 13th from. It's because of the Knights Templar. Because the Catholic Church hired the French to kill the Knights Templar. And on Friday the 13th, the French invaded every Knights Templar stronghold. And all of the higher-ups and all of the money was gone. And when I say all of the money, the Knights Templar basically invented modern banking. You would give them money, they would give you a coupon, and then you take that coupon to any other Knights Templar, and they would give you the money that you put in the bank. So the Knights Templar were balling with money, man. Like, they had all the money in the world. And yet, when the French invaded, all of it was gone.
Into the mafia.
Well, they say that the Knights Templar came to America. They say they took off overseas, and they could have found the New World. There's a lot of legends and myth about the Knights Templar. That's where we get Friday the 13th. That's where a lot of stuff comes from. I don't know. Like I said, I studied the Crusades for a long, long time. Next up, we got The End of the Tour by James. I have no idea how to say that last name. Ponsolti.
I know Jason Segel and I know Jesse.
Well, Jason Segel, Jesse Eisenberg, Joan Cusack, yeah. Magazine reporter recounts his travels and conversations with author David Foster Wallace during a promotional book tour. There's enough actors in it that I watch it.
Yeah, that's one of those.
It's not like the story doesn't really grip me, but I like all the actors. Right. So, all right. Next up, we got The Experimenter by Michael. They have weird names.
Yeah, they do.
How would you say that?
Almorieta.
All right, we'll go with that. It got Winona Ryder in it. Famed social psychologist Stanley Milgram in 1961 conducts a series of radical behavior experiments that tested ordinary humans' willingness to obey authority.
Sound like some kind of Marvel.
Yeah, I'd watch that. That actually sounds really interesting.
Yeah, that sounds kind of like the makings of Dr. Manhattan.
Right? Wouldn't that be DC? Dr. Manhattan? Wasn't Watchmen DC Comics? Vertigo?
Is it?
I think so. I know it's not Marvel. I don't think it's like mainstream DC. I think it's like a off-brand DC. Like one of the companies that are owned by DC. I think. I don't know. Could be talking about my
I was wondering why Manhattan looked like Silver Surfer or Mr. Ice.
Mr.
Ice.
Ice.
They used to steal from each other. That's
yeah, they stole from each other a lot. It's like there were more lawsuits.
That's another story. Whole another story.
You want to get into the history of comic books, man? That's yeah. I don't know much about DC's history, but I know pretty much everything there is to know about Marvel's history. All right, next up is a movie called Grandma, directed by Paul White-Witz. Self-described, what is it? Misanthrope. Ellie Raid and her has her protective bubble burst when her 18-year-old granddaughter, and then it doesn't tell me the rest.
Jesus.
I don't know.
That's one of those under the radars.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever watch that. Just the name alone, Grandma. Like,
yeah.
Would you check that out?
I probably wouldn't.
Nah.
My grandmother might make me check it.
She's like, hey, I'm a grandma. Let me watch. All right, I Am Michael. See this one. This is another one. Look at just the stars. It's directed by Justin Kelly, but it got Jason Franco. Jason, fucking, I pulled an Obama. James Franco, Emma Roberts, Zachary Quinto. Like I love him.
Daryl Hannah.
Yeah, man. It's like everyone. Fucking a gay activist and magazine founder is saved from his homosexuality after turning to God. That's a weird ass plot.
Yeah. Very controversial.
But I love the actors.
Yeah.
James Franco makes some weird choices though.
Yeah,
Have you seen
very random.
He does a lot of like old Southern Western movies.
You think?
He does. Like there are a lot of them are on Netflix. I don't like them. Like they're not my cup of tea. But he's very artistic.
Yeah.
Not always in a good way.
He's versatile. I give him that.
Next up is I'll See You in My Dreams, directed by
Sounds familiar.
Brett Haley. Let's see. Carol, a widow in her 70s, is forced to confront her fears about love, family, and death. After her routine is rattled, she decides to start dating again. Well, that's never good. Falls into relationships with two. So she starts dating two men at the same time while worrying about death. Oh, that's interesting.
This reminds me like a Jack Nicholson movie or something like that.
Yeah, it does. Wasn't there a movie with him in it where he was something like that?
I think it was either not Something's Got to Give, but came out 2003.
Yeah.
Diane Keaton's in it.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves is in it.
What is it called?
It's called. It's one of those names with it's like a sentence or something like it's like.
Something
as good as it gets.
As good as it gets.
Okay, as good as it gets, and then it's Something's Got to Give. That's what it is. Yeah, Something's Got to Give. Okay, I was thinking about.
That's actually not a bad movie. Like,
no, it's not a bad movie at all. No.
All right, Last Day in the Desert. This is another religious movie. An imagined chapter from Jesus' 40 days of fasting and praying in the desert. On his way out of the wilderness, he struggles with the devil over the fate of a family in crisis. A lot of religious movies.
Wasn't Russell Crowe or who was that? That was in that movie. That was Noah or something.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Have you seen it? It looks pretty good, but it looks like over the top. Like
yeah, I heard it was kind of over the top. It's just a tad bit.
I saw Exodus. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Gods and Kings. That shit was pretty.
Mm.
But then that's Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott's always good. Well, usually he's good.
Yeah, usually.
He's had some misses.
Hit or miss these days.
So here's that Jennifer Lopez one I told you about.
Oh wow.
Lila and Eve. This one seems pretty cool because it's two distraught mothers. Their children are killed, and then the cops don't do anything, so they decide to go out and avenge it themselves. It sounds like a female version of Death Wish. Or Punisher. You've seen Death Wish, right? Or
Charles Bronson?
Yeah. I've only seen parts of one or two of them. There's like 8 or something, isn't there? Like, there's a lot of those movies.
Yeah.
But I liked what I saw, and I love The Punisher.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
Sprinkled with a little Thelma and Louise in there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, especially since it's 2 girls. But that's something I'd watch. Like.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't expect J-Lo to be in there, but...
Yeah. I had tickets to go watch her one movie, like a pre-screening of The Boy Next Door.
Oh.
But I had class, so I couldn't go. But that looks pretty good, too.
Yeah, it did.
Next up is Mistress America. A lonely college freshman's life is turned upside down by her misadventures with her soon-to-be sister-in-law. Or stepsister. I'll pass. Would you watch that? That's a straight chick flick.
It is a chick flick. I might watch it on accident.
Watch it? How do you watch something
you
on
come
accident?
home and you see one of those
through the channels.
late at night, like, that seems interesting. I would never watch that normally.
Or if I had a girl with me. Like,
oh, yeah.
All right, Mississippi Grind. This one has Ryan Reynolds in it. And with the exception of Green Lantern, I'll watch a Ryan Reynolds movie.
Wow.
Wait, did you like Green Lantern?
No, I actually haven't seen the Lantern yet.
You haven't seen it? You're not missing much.
Damn.
He was good in it. He was good in it. It wasn't his fault. They relied too much on graphics, and they were trying too hard to show off with, ooh, look what we can do.
So is it worse than, kind of like Prometheus, but is it worse than Daredevil, or just as good? Or?
How dare you?
Ah!
What is wrong with Daredevil? Explain to me what is wrong with Daredevil.
He has a soft spot for Ben Affleck. Excuse him.
Okay, that movie was riddled with Easter eggs for comic book fans. That's why I love that movie.
You know what though?
Ben Affleck be damned. I do love Ben Affleck though, but that movie was literally.
In his defense, I did like who they had cast in. I had no problem with Ben Affleck's Daredevil. I had no problem with Michael Clark Duncan, rest his soul.
He was the best Kingpin I've seen yet.
Yes, I agree.
To be fair, I've only seen two.
Very underused.
He was the best.
Yes, I had no problem with the character.
I even like.
Maybe I need to see it again.
Look, check.
Maybe because the only time I've seen this when it first came out. So
it was such a movie made for fans though. You had Stanley in it. Obviously, he's in every Marvel movie. You had Kevin Smith act in it. You had Frank Miller act in it. You had, let's see, the names of the characters. Well, let's see, Daredevil's father in the fight, Jack the King Kirby. Oh, gee, who's Jack Kirby? Come on, man. They named, and then Kevin Smith's character was John Romita or something like, or no, John Romita was in there. Kevin Smith's character was named after another comic book artist. Like, they had 3 writers in it, and they named 3 characters after artists. That movie was made for fans.
Maybe I need to go back and see it because I've seen. Plus, I didn't see the whole thing, and then
I have the director's cut, man. It has an extra half hour in there. You want to go check that out?
Maybe I should check that out.
Elektra sucked. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But Daredevil, it seems like a couple people didn't like it, and then it just snowballed to where everyone started shitting on it. But I think it was actually a pretty good movie.
Maybe I had to give it another try.
Plus, I love Ben Affleck, and I love Daredevil. He's my Catholic. There it goes: Zorro, Daredevil, and Nightcrawler, and those are the Catholic superheroes in the world. You gotta show respect, man.
Funny.
I'm serious, man.
You and the Pope were made for each other.
There's not really anyone else. All right, but this Ryan Reynolds movie is he's basically down on his luck, and he teams up with a young charismatic poker player in an attempt to change his luck. The two set off on a road trip through the South with visions of winning back what's been. It's not gonna end well. That's gonna go horrible.
I've seen that before.
You know what's a good gambling movie is 21.
21. What's that one with my boy in it, man? With
who's your boy?
Matt Damon and my boy Edward Norton. Rounders.
Oh, that's
Rounders.
Cool.
Rounders is a very underrated gambling movie. Rounders, and I mean, yeah, just Rounders. I mean, fucking Matt Damon, Edward Norton, John Malkovich. I mean, just
Cast alone sells that.
Yeah, I mean, bro, just so, and then John Turturro. I mean, like,
have you seen 21 though?
Oh, the time out. Okay, isn't let me see, Jesse
Eisenberg,
Lawrence Fishburne, Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. That movie
I haven't seen it in its entirety. But
it's basically Kevin Spacey's a professor, and he takes a bunch of MIT students
and they're cashing those casinos.
To Vegas, and just
going to work.
Hitting it.
Okay. I got the gist of it, and I have seen the critical parts, but I haven't seen it in its entirety.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah, I heard about that. I'll give that another try too. I'll definitely get that.
You should. It's really good. But I mean, it's Kevin Spacey.
Well, yeah, anything that he's in.
I still need to watch
American Beauty.
No. What's that? His YouTube series, his Netflix series.
Oh yeah, I've been hearing about
House of Cards.
House of Cards.
I need to watch House of Cards.
I heard that was pretty good.
But I swore that Daredevil would be the first Netflix original I watched. So as soon as I'm done watching Daredevil, I'll check out House of Cards. Marvel. It's about Marvel. All right, Saul searching.
Wow.
It's all about Asians. During the 1980s, the Korean government created a special summer camp.
Gayopo.
For foreign-born teenagers, where they could spend their summer in Seoul to learn about their motherland. While the intentions of the program were honorable, the activities of the teens were not. The program was eventually canceled after a few years because the government simply could not control the youth. Okay.
Clearly.
Okay.
Kids?
Kids was awesome. I have such a hard time believing the director who directed that also directed Spring Breakers. Because I hated Spring Breakers.
You only hate Spring Breakers because of who's in it.
No, I love it because who's in it? Selena Gomez, I love her. Vanessa Hudgens, come on, man.
Both of them are in there?
Yeah, that movie is nothing but eye candy.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to do research on
That
it.
movie is straight eye candy, but there's no plot.
James Franco's in that. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate James. I usually like James Franco, but I hate him in that movie. He's like, Spring Break, bitch. It's like, he says it over and over and over again. The movie makes me mad. Except the girls are really hot.
Okay. I'm gonna do research.
Next up is Sleeping with Other People. Allison Brie, I love her from Community, Mad Men. She's hot. And I keep forgetting his name. Is that
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott from Horrible Bosses?
Horrible Bosses.
He's funny as hell.
What else was he in, man? He was in Hancock.
Yeah.
He was in Hancock.
So
Identity.
Yeah. Was that him?
Yeah.
Identity Theft?
Or
No, that wasn't him.
Yeah, that was him. That was, I don't know the verbatim name of it, but I know that was him. He was in that.
The one with the fat girl steals his identity?
Yeah, Patterson. Yeah. Yeah, that was him.
No, that's the other guy from Horrible Bosses.
Mm-hmm. That was him.
I think you're wrong. Nah, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Only one way to find out.
All right. Let's check this out. I think you're wrong.
Modern convenience.
Right. See, it's the other guy from Horrible Bosses.
Oh yeah, Jason Bateman. Okay.
Jason Bateman. Yeah. See, so I told you it wasn't him.
You're right.
See, I know my things sometimes. Yeah. Alright, so this movie, Sleeping with Other People, is about a good-natured womanizer and a serial cheater. Wow. Form a platonic relationship that helps them reform their ways while a mutual attraction. Well, if it's a mutual attraction, it's not a platonic relationship. Maybe it starts out as one, but
I'll watch it.
I'll watch it. Just for those two. Alright, next up, 10,000 Saints. Set in the 1980s. Anything that takes place in the 80s, I'll watch. A teenager from Vermont moves to New York City to live with his father. I don't know. Well, Ethan Hawke.
Yeah. Ethan Hawke. Emily Hirsch.
Emily Hirsch.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Give it a try. True story.
Well, Jonah Hill and James Franco.
Boy.
So
Those two.
I'm in for them. The relationship between journalist Michael Finkel and Kristen Longo, an FBI most wanted list murderer who for years lived outside the U.S. Yeah, I'll watch that. I'm sold.
Fuck.
Let's go to Utah.
Damn.
A Walk in the Woods. Well, Emma Thompson, so right there. Robert Redford.
Yeah. Damn, he's still alive?
Right? That's what I was thinking too.
Looks good.
After spending 2 decades in England, Bill Bryson returns to the U.S. where he decides the best way to connect with his homeland is to hike the Appalachian Trail with his oldest friend. I'll watch it.
Oh, Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte.
Oh, shit.
Alright, yeah. I'll check that out.
Huh.
Last up is Zipper. Okay. A family man who has had it all until he risks losing everything due to his inability to fight off his obsessive temptation for other women.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, man. Doesn't it kind of make you wish you were at Sundance? Like,
Yeah.
some of those look really good.
They do, man.
Well, we just gotta make a movie, submit it to Sundance, get in, and then go to watch said movie. That's what we gotta do.
What about the upcoming movies? What we got there?
Alright, upcoming movies, we got Furious 7. You watch the Fast and the Furious movies?
I actually have. This last, well, yeah. I don't think I've seen the last one, but I've seen the one before the last one and the one before that one.
Alright, well, let's go do the list then. Have you seen Fast and the Furious?
I've seen Fast and the Furious.
Do you like Fast and the Furious?
I do like Fast and the Furious.
To me, that's one of my favorites. I love that one.
Yeah.
Alright, have you seen Too Fast, Too Furious?
That's my favorite one. I seen.
Really? That's the one that I'm like, I get through it, but I'm not excited when I have to watch it.
Man, anything Eva Mendes is in, count me in.
Okay, she makes it a lot easier to watch. Alright, I know technically this isn't a Fast and Furious movie, but it fits in the world. Have you ever seen Better Luck Tomorrow?
No. Who's in it?
Okay. You've seen Tokyo Drift?
Not in its entirety.
Okay, but you know Han, the Asian dude.
Yeah.
His character, the director, I forgot the name of the director. I can't believe I forget the name of the director. But the director who did Tokyo Drift and most of the movies after that, he directed a movie called Better Luck Tomorrow that he wrote and directed. And one of the main characters in that movie was Han. So when he did Fast and the Furious, he brought that character over. So Better Luck Tomorrow is the origin story of Han.
Kind of bridging the universe.
Yeah.
Together. Okay.
So that's why I count it in there. So it's really good. It's about these Asian kids are in high school and they start their own little ring, like their own criminal ring, to make money and shit. Like, it's pretty good. Tokyo Drift is pretty good too.
Yeah,
Have you seen Fast and Furious, the fourth one?
Yeah. No. I've seen pieces of it. That one's kind of crazy. That one's pretty intense. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this in its entirety.
All right. What about Fast Five?
I've seen. I got Fast Five.
I like Fast Five.
Yeah. Fast Five.
And then, what is it? Fast Six? What is the sixth one called?
Faster? No.
Faster Six. Faster Six. Stupidest name ever.
It's damn. What is it called?
We'll call it Fast Six for now.
Okay, Fast Six.
All right. Have you seen that one?
I have.
What do you think?
It was okay.
It was alright. I don't think it was as good as Fast Five.
No.
But all right. So this next one is called Furious 7. They just keep working on the name.
Yeah.
I'm kind of worried about this movie.
Because Paul Walker.
Yeah. I love Paul Walker. To me, like, I love Vin Diesel, but I watch the movies because of Paul Walker. Paul Walker's the one that kept me coming back.
I love him, boy. I love Paul.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love
Tyrese.
Dominic. Dominic Toretto, like, that's... I like Brian Connor, too. He was Irish. He was an Irishman, you know, representing for my people.
Here we go.
Alright, so here's the trailer for Furious 7.
Alright, let's get to work.
Hey, Roman, you freaking out? Hey, Roman, you freaking out?
Yes, you are.
Should somebody just walk me through what we supposed to be doing?
Just when you didn't think you could get any better, huh? Here we go.
I forgot. Yeah, I think it was Tyrese or Vince.
Hell yeah! Oh,
Oh, come on.
Brian, you're up!
I'm gonna get you out of here.
You're gonna have to jump!
Roman Terrell, you don't know me. You're about to.
Looks like the sins of London have followed us home. Remember Owen Shaw? This is a big bad brother. We're being hunted. We must fly.
Get low when the whistle go.
Now we're talking. Daddy's gotta go to work. This is a world that doesn't play by your rules. Like it or not, you and your friends are a part of it now. I don't have friends. I got family.
Alright, you wanna talk fast? You wanna talk Die Hard shit? The villain in this one is the brother of a villain from another one.
The villain in this one is the brother from
The brother of a villain from an old Fast and the Furious movie.
That's dope.
But that's straight out of Die Hard. The villain from Die Hard 3 is the brother of the villain from Die Hard 1.
Really?
Yeah. They straight up stole that from Die Hard.
Oh shit.
But that cast just keeps growing and growing.
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
growing.
like that. I like the features.
But they're finally past Tokyo Drift.
What do you mean?
Well, because Tokyo Drift is the third one made,
Right.
but it takes place after Fast and the Furious 6. the very ending of Fast and the Furious 6
kind of
is
like
also the ending of
sequel
Tokyo
of-
Drift. Well, it's more of the middle of Tokyo Drift. Han dies at the ending of 6, but he also dies in the middle of Tokyo Drift.
How's that possible?
Tokyo Drift came out third, and then they made 4, but they wanted Han in it because he was the most popular character. So 4 takes place before 3, and then 5 takes place before 3, and 6 takes place before 3. Or 6 takes place at the same time, yeah.
What the fuck?
Because they liked that character, so they wanted to keep bringing them back, but they killed him off in Tokyo Drift. So they had to put all these movies before Tokyo Drift so that it still made sense.
And so I remember, like, I do remember the end, even though I haven't seen Tokyo Drift in its entirety. I do remember the end when Jason came and, you know, introduced that dynamic.
Yeah.
So now they're saying we're picking up exactly from where we left off in
At Tokyo Drift, yeah, because
okay.
in 6 it
That makes
ends, and then the credits roll, and then at the ending of 6, Han went back to Tokyo. And then the credits roll, and then you see him die in a car crash. But that car crash happens in the middle of Tokyo Drift. So while the credits of Fast 6 is rolling, Tokyo Drift takes place.
Why didn't they just fake his accident?
Because his death was like a critical part of Tokyo Drift. So they couldn't just retcon that he didn't die, because it was kind of crucial to what happened in Tokyo Drift. Oh, that's... I don't know. The movies, to me, like, they're mindless entertainment. Like, you don't watch the Fast and the Furious movies to be like, oh, this is riveting movies. It's something you could sit back, eat popcorn with, and enjoy. Which there's not enough movies like that anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I like them. It's mindless entertainment to just chill and get your mind off things.
See that Friday the 13th right there.
Oh, yeah.
What's that all about? So they rebooting a reboot of a reboot.
Yeah, they don't have a trailer out for it yet, but alright, so
Wow.
I'm a huge Friday the 13th fan. I love Jason Voorhees. If you have to give me a horror villain, that's my horror villain.
Over Mike.
I like Halloween, but to me, it goes Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, the Leprechaun, Chucky, and then the Djinn, and then Michael Myers. And the Djinn is from Witchmaster.
No Hellraiser?
Oh, Hellraiser, yeah, fuck.
You put the Djinn over Pinhead? The Djinn has to go through Pinhead.
I love the Djinn. I love those Witchmaster movies. Have you ever seen them?
Oh, I have.
I love those movies so
Yeah.
fucking much. Man. Fucking Robert Englund was in the first one.
He was. The Candyman was in the first
Oh, I
one.
love Candyman too. Fuck. Yeah, I love horror movies. Horror movies are my thing. Like, I love horror movies. But Jason Voorhees is like my favorite, man.
Speaking of, I mean, when are we gonna see Jeepers Creepers 3 Cathedral? When is
Is that still coming out? Forget all that, man. They're making an Evil Dead TV show.
Really?
That's all I care about. I'm done with everything else. Evil Dead and Bruce Campbell's in it. He's a star. I'm sold.
Dope.
I'm sold. And it takes place after Army of Darkness. So I'm like, alright. The king is back. Nah. But so the original Friday the 13th, you know, the original one. I think that's to me that's the only one that actually scared me because it could happen. Like a mother going crazy and killing people for shit that they didn't even do. Shit that people who had their jobs before them did.
I think part 2 could have happened.
Part 2
Because he was still in human form. You know, he didn't start becoming like supernatural.
All right, so this is what I don't understand. In number 1, was that a dream? When
No.
Kid Jason jumps out of the water?
No, well, no. Some of that, no, that was a dream.
Oh, okay.
That was a dream, and they made that clear. I was
Yeah.
reading recently, like they made that.
Because then the next movie, Jason kills her in the beginning, but he's an adult. Whereas when he jumped out of the water, he was a kid.
Yeah, that was pure. She was dreaming.
I always love like she survived the first movie, only to die in the first 5 minutes of the second movie.
Yeah, that was fucked up. And you know what? They corrected themselves for that because they didn't want to make Jason out of that. They didn't want to. They wanted to separate him from Michael Myers. You know.
Yeah.
Even though they pretty much got some of the idea from the Halloween series, but they wanted to separate themselves from Halloween by not taking him in the neighborhood per se, because that's not what he's a wilderness
Jason's
guy.
a wilderness
yeah,
guy.
he's that's his.
Man, I love that he just talks to his mother. It has a real Norman Bates has to go on that list too. There's a real Norman Bates quality to it.
Yeah.
Like him just talking to his mother's head and him hearing her voice. That stuff right there. That's real Norman Bates like.
Hold on, Jason talk.
Well, he never talked.
Like a form, like communicating.
But she would talk. Like you watch the movies, the mother's head would talk. So I mean, you know it's in his head. Like he hears her talking.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "Kill, Jason, kill." Like, bro. So I mean, he never really talked, but the mother talked to him.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, but have you seen the remake?
I have seen the remake.
What did you think?
I liked it, but I think they kind of okay. I like some things about it, but I think they kind of went on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre side a little too much. Then it seemed like they tried to take all of the movies from the past and combine them into one, and you know,
I think they tried.
They didn't leave any room for I don't know for.
I think they tried too hard.
You think?
I think they tried too hard. Like, part of what made Friday the 13th enjoyable is it was campy as hell. Those movies were campy.
Yeah.
But it worked. I mean, they were glory, and I could see how, like, when you're watching in the theater and you didn't really have a whole lot of experience with movies, it could be scary. Now, you know, we're overexposed to everything. So we watched it, and it doesn't have the same impact on us, and it's kind of campy, but it works. This one was trying hard to be a horror movie. But it had, even though it lost the campy factor, it still made no sense. There was still no real plot. And it just, I don't know, Jason wasn't intimidating. He wasn't scared. He struck me as a loser.
They turned him into what was Leatherface's name? What did Hewitt.
They did.
They turned him into Hewitt basically.
They did, and it just, I hated it.
Yeah.
I think it's the worst. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street remake wasn't that great either, but this one was even worse.
I don't know, dude.
Well, the worst one is, have you seen the Leprechaun remake? Leprechaun Origins?
Didn't that come on Sci-Fi at one time?
Oh,
Isn't that a Sci-Fi original?
Yeah.
That's a Sci-Fi original?
So bad.
Oh, shit.
So it's made by the WWE. It's so, I watched it because I love the Leprechaun movies, but they replaced the Leprechaun and you barely even see him. They try to turn him into an actual, like, scary killer. It's like, no, the Leprechaun sits there and makes jokes.
Oh, so they kind of made him out.
They try to make him scary, but a Leprechaun's like that tall. You're not gonna make him real scary and intimidating. It was painful, man.
I have to check it out. I'll give it a chance. I like Leprechaun. I'm a fan of it.
I was too, but not that movie.
Wow.
But so this movie, this Friday the 13th movie, is yet another remake, and they're talking about making it found footage. So a found footage Friday the 13th movie. I'm out.
You're out?
I'm out. The only good thing is that Sean Cunningham, the guy who created the original Friday the 13th, is making a TV show about Jason Voorhees, and it's gonna jump between the different movies. So, like, it'll be at different points in time throughout Jason, between Friday the 13th, the original one, and Jason X.
So you mean like they're making a series based on the chapters? Like, say for instance, like Friday the 13th 3. Like that one season is focusing on events in 3.
I think it's stuff that didn't happen in the movies. I don't think they're remaking the movies in the TV show. I think it's like, okay, well, in 1987 this happened, but in 1998 when you guys weren't here, this is what happened. Like, it's just jumping around to different time periods of Jason's life in Camp Crystal Lake.
That'd be kind of if they do this right and they emphasize on detail, I would really be interested.
I'm sold for that.
As a fan, I'll check it out.
I mean, look. There's another movie on this list. I want to say that one for probably last, but it's the one right underneath it that I'm real bitter about. But I'll watch because I'm a fan. So, next up is Avengers. Have you seen the trailer for it yet?
I have not. Thanos is supposed to be in this, right?
No.
What?
Well, he might, like, a cameo, but no.
So when is Thanos showing up?
Well, Avengers 3 and 4 are called the Infinity Gauntlet, or called Infinity War. So, when do you think Thanos is gonna show up? Because I mean, all these movies have been leading to. He can't be in it anyways. Have you seen all the Marvel movies?
To be honest, and this is blasphemy, I haven't seen the entirety of Avenger 1.
That's a Joss Whedon movie. That's not just an Avenger movie. That's a Joss Whedon movie.
Sorry.
Oh, that's
I have
heartbreaking.
not gotten around to it.
All right.
65 minutes.
Basically, That's the view count? Bloody hell. Like, basically, in all the Marvel movies, they've been going after Infinity Gems. They've been slowly collecting them. They have 4 of them now. 4 or 5 of them now. So they can't do Infinity War until they have all 6. So what would be the point of making Thanos the villain if he can't do anything yet? I mean, even without the Infinity Gauntlet.
I mean,
even without it, he's still like the biggest badass you'll ever meet. But, that's kind of his gimmick. And it's like, well, they've been setting it up, so why not just wait? But I'm excited. Because it's Ultron, man. Better in it.
I'm gonna show you something beautiful. Everyone screaming for mercy. Everyone screaming. You want to protect the world, but you don't want it to change. You're all puppets, but you don't want it to change. Tangled in strings. Strings.
Ultron. That's the one thing I'm going in annoyed about this movie. Yeah, that's good though, right? Quicksilver
It's the end.
Scarlet Witch.
The end of the path I started us on.
Have you ever heard of
lasts
Ultron?
forever.
That's an armor designed to fight the Hulk.
Designed by who?
Tony Stark.
Why? They're on the same team.
Yeah, but the Hulk most of the time is uncontrollable.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, check it out. This is what annoys me about this movie, but I trust in Joss Whedon. All things in Joss Whedon are good, so I trust him. But Avengers comes out, and then a few months later, Ant-Man comes out. Okay. Ultron is one of the biggest villains the Avengers have ever fought. He was created by Hank Pym, who is the original Ant-Man. Ant-Man comes out after the Avengers. So, the first appearance of the guy who creates Ultron happens after Ultron comes. So they're giving Ultron's creation to Tony Stark and saying that he created Ultron by accident. It's kind of annoying to, like, purists.
You know that for sure?
Well, I mean, that's kind of what they're saying because Joss Whedon said that Hank Pym isn't going to be in Avengers. So how else are they going to... You can't not have an origin story for the biggest villain in the movie, you know? But that trailer looks awesome. The movie sounds awesome. It's Joss Whedon. It's Avengers. I'm fucking sold. But, yeah, Hank Pym created Ultron. Hank Pym's the original Ant-Man. But speaking of Ant-Man, that movie's going to be awesome, too. Michael Douglas is playing Hank Pym, and
Oh, shit.
what's his name?
What was he in?
Wow, I should know his name. Paul Rudd is playing Scott Lang.
Is it? And this isn't a comedy? What the fuck?
Nah, okay, but check it out. Well, Scott Lang is a sarcastic, kind of funny person. Okay, so do you know anything about Ant-Man?
Not really.
Alright, so Ant-Man is... Hank Pym is a scientist. He's probably the 7th smartest person in the Marvel Universe. And seeing as the the Marvel Cinematic Universe is missing people like Reed Richards and Doctor Doom, he's probably more like 3rd or 4th smartest person in the world. So he's really, really smart. And he he created a device to shrink himself down, and he created a device to speak to ants.
Why?
Because Hank Pym is weird. I don't know why he does the things he does. But he does the things he does. But it turned him into a superhero, right? And he also shrank his assistant, whose name was Janet Van Dyne, who was, she calls herself the Wasp. They start dating, they get married. They're two of the founding members of the Avengers in the comic books. They're very important characters in the Marvel Universe. Well, later on, as time progressed, Hank Pym started to get in trouble with the Avengers because he wasn't taking his job seriously, blah, 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 blah. And so Captain America was going to court-martial him. So he invented a robot to attack the Avengers so that he could defeat the robot and save the Avengers and get out of this court-martial. The robot goes haywire, blows up in his face. He looks like a fool. It doesn't really work. He tries to do it again. Janet walks in on him. She's like, what are you doing, this and that? And he's like, get out of here! And he hits his wife. Damn. Hank Pym, a superhero, is a wife beater. I have that issue. He beat his wife.
Wow.
And so he kind of leaves the Avengers, and he's not a superhero for a while. And then eventually, he becomes a superhero again, yada, yada, yada. But a guy named Scott Lang, he's a criminal. He's a thief. Mm-hmm. His daughter's dying. So he breaks in and he steals Hank Pym's things called Pym particles. Is what makes you shrink and grow. He steals it because he's trying to sell it to save his daughter. Hank Pym finds him and they kind of become a team. And Scott Lang becomes Ant-Man working under Hank Pym. Mm. So the movie's taking place from that. So it's kind of cool because this is implying that Hank Pym was a superhero a long time ago, which is implying that superheroes in the cinematic universe have been going back quite a while. Not just Captain America, but other superheroes were there before Iron Man, which I think personally is pretty cool, you know?
Fucking Captain America.
I like Captain America. Not in the comic books when he's a fascist, mutant-hating old man, but I like Captain America. Like, traditionally, I like Captain America. And Chris Evans is amazing as Captain America. Yeah, he's doing hell of a lot better as Captain America than he was as Johnny Storm.
Damn.
You like those movies? Yeah. I think the unreleased one was better. That's saying something.
Hold on, wouldn't he in Fantastic Four?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I say he was a better Captain America than Johnny Storm.
Hold on, isn't the Fantastic Four supposed to be with the Avengers?
Okay. Marvel in the 90s. I need to do a podcast about Marvel Comics history. That's what I need to do. Okay. In the 90s, artists were king in comic books. If you could draw, you were king. Marvel Comics in particular was guilty of this. They would have 1,000 different covers per comic books. And they were making boatloads of money. And just like that, it backfired. Because people were buying 3 or 4 copies of everything because they wanted to then save it for a few years and then sell it. Problem was, so many people were buying, they were making so many more copies, they were selling so many copies. If there's like a million copies of something, your copy's worth nothing. Because there's a million other copies out there.
True.
The reason why books from like the 40s and stuff are so expensive is because that book, Seduction of the Innocent, and the book burnings and all that stuff, there's not a lot of copies of those. Mm. That's why they're worth so much money, you know?
Yeah.
But, so, where was it? Okay, so Marvel went bankrupt. They were broke. They had no money, almost went out of business. Mm. So they had a brilliant idea. CGI is alive. Let's license out our movies and try to recap some. Mm. Now, comic book movies hadn't really done well since like the Tim Burton years.
I remember that.
Schumacher, he messed up Batman.
Yeah, I remember when they tried to.
Howard the Duck failed.
Yeah, they attempted to do Captain America in the 90s.
That failed. So the Fantastic Four movie never even came out. I have it on DVD. It's pretty good, but it never really came out. But Marvel needed money, so they started to license some properties. The first one, do you know this? Do you know what the first property they licensed? Do you know what movie? You know how if you go to the movie theaters now, comic book movies are banking in money. It's like the most successful genre right now. Mm-hmm. Do you know what movie started that trend? Let's see.
Spider-Man. No, X-Men.
Nope. It's a Marvel movie.
When did it come out? It had to be late 90s because X-Men came out 2000.
It
I seen that at the
predates. Which one came out first, X-Men or Spider-Man?
No, X-Men.
X-Men. It predates X-Men.
So it had
by
to be
a couple years.
Like late 90s. Late 90s Marvel movie? Spawn?
Most
No,
people-
no, Spawn's
Spawn.
Marvel.
Spawn is a independent comic book.
Yeah, late 90s Marvel.
Do you give up? No one ever gets this.
Give me a hint. If you give me a hint, I will get it.
They made 3 movies and a TV show. The TV show had a different actor in it.
Wow. They made 3 movies.
Ryan Reynolds is in the 3rd one.
Blade?
There you go.
Oh, Blade! Right! Blade is Marvel! Right!
Blade is the movie.
Yeah,
that
Blade
started
got
the
shit.
modern
Yeah, they got
comic
shit kicking
book.
again.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Blade.
Damn, people really don't. They rip, man. They need
No
to do
one
a
ever
Blade
gets
4,
that.
dude. They need to do a Blade.
Well, Marvel has the rights back. Okay, so see, this is what happened. They released Blade. Who made Blade? New Line Cinema, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they leased the rights to New Line. So as long as New Line made a new movie I think it's every 10 years, they got to keep the rights. They could keep making them indefinitely, as long as they made them. And they paid Marvel a percentage of what they earned and a shit ton up front. Obviously, Marvel had some control over content because it's their brand and stuff like that, you know? So that was a success. Then they leased to Fox the X-Men. Money, money, money. Then they leased to Sony Spider-Man. Then was it Ghost Rider, Daredevil? Those are to Fox. Those weren't as big
More
successes.
X-Men.
Well, but see, Fox owns the right to X-Men because of the first deal. As long as they keep making it every 10 years, they keep hold of the rights. So Blade eventually stopped, mainly because Wesley Snipes went to jail for tax evasion. Ghost Rider, they tried to do another one, that failed, so they sold the rights back. They're like, we don't want anything to do with this. Daredevil, after Elektra, they were like, we don't want anything to do with this. So Blade, Ghost Rider, and Daredevil, all sold to Fox, all reverted back to Marvel. Fantastic Four was also sold to Fox. Hulk was sold to Universal, and Iron Man was sold to Paramount.
Yeah.
Now, whenever they sold Iron Man to Paramount, Marvel had just created Universal Studios. Not Universal Studios, Marvel Studios. And so they made a deal with Paramount. We'll co-release every film until the Avengers. So that way Paramount could get their pay.
Right.
Paramount said yes. The second movie was supposed to be Ant-Man by Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright dragged his heels for 8 years and they eventually fired him. But so that's what came up with Iron Man. Universal sold Hulk back because the first one failed. Marvel did one with Hulk, but it kind of fell too.
I actually like the first one.
The first one no, but the second one I like. But it wasn't a success. That's why they recast them with Mark Ruffalo. But so that's Marvel leased all these properties out, and they started to get them back. But Sony and Marvel are kind of like in negotiations to get Spider-Man back. Fox keeps saying "fuck you." Like, they won't negotiate with Marvel. Marvel's trying, but Fox won't do it.
Fuck Fox.
Well, that's kind of the consensus. If you're a Marvel fan, you kind of are bitter against Fox because they won't. We think they're making another movie coming out this year.
I didn't like the way Fox fucked. Like, they didn't give a shit about any kind of storyline. Like, it's like they didn't want to follow any comic book fucking storyline. They didn't want to follow even the fucking cartoon series storyline.
No.
Where the fuck was the Apocalypse? Not even that. Fuck the Apocalypse. I mean, why is Bishop just now being in this fucking movie? Why haven't they introduced Cable? I mean, where's Havoc?
Even when they brought him in, it's not real. Well, Havoc was in First Class. But even when they brought Bishop in, they didn't really bring him in as Bishop. He was kind of like a secondary beat.
Yeah, like just some fucking... I mean...
Just there so we could be like, oh, Psylocke was in Last Stand, but you don't even know a Psylocke until you watch the credits, and it says Psylocke. It's pointless.
There's no character development at all. There's no character development.
Unless you're Wolverine.
Yeah, unless you're Wolverine. I like Wolverine. I really
do too. I do too.
I like
that's
Wolverine.
the only one in there.
But, I mean, dude, it's like X-Men.
There's other X-Men.
Yes, dude. Like, forget Marvel. Like, X-Men within itself is so much more than fucking Wolverine.
The X-Men comic books, for like the longest time, I don't know if it's still true, but for the longest time, outsold DC and the rest of Marvel.
Yep.
Like, X-Men comic books make bank.
Yeah.
But there's a rumor that the Fantastic Four movie, which I think is going to suck, is
Why are they redoing that?
because they want to hold on to the rights. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of speculation that the Fantastic Four movie coming out is Fox's way of saying, "Fuck you, Marvel. We're keeping the Fantastic Four. You can't have them back." Like the movie, like from what I understand, from what everyone's saying, is that it's essentially Chronicle 2. Like, why not just make another movie? Why call it Fantastic Four?
Fox are dicks.
Exactly. I don't know. I'm mad at Fox. First they cancel Firefly, then they pull this shit.
Damn.
I had issue with Fox. Alright, Jurassic World. Are you a fan of Jurassic Park?
Hell yeah. I've seen them all.
I love the first one.
Fan.
Love the second one. Third one has its moments.
I actually love the third one too.
I like it. I don't hate it like a lot of people do, but it's not my favorite. I love the first one, and the second one takes place in San Diego, my home city. So I'm like, all right, I'm sold. I'm sold.
I actually like Part 3 better than Lost World, and I like Lost World. I like Lost World a lot.
I love Lost World. You like Part 3 better?
I like Part 3 better. It brings you back. It takes you back to not necessarily the event. It takes you to like a new generation or a new plateau. And touches back.
I do like that they brought the doctor back from the first one, the archeologist.
They brought that. Yeah,
that was cool.
They brought Dr. Graham back.
But I'm excited.
I even like the plot. I like the plot of it, man. It wasn't fantastic, but
it was all right, and it kind of leads to with this one, I guess, Jurassic World. It looks like they finally opened the park. It has Chris Pine, which I love, especially after Guardians of the Galaxy.
Tell me they bring the doctor back.
I don't know,
or at least Jeff Goldblum.
Let's watch the trailer.
Some fucking body, dude.
I love Jeff Goldblum.
Man. I can't stand a bunch of unknowns like.
Well, Chris Pine, man. You don't like Chris Pine?
I mean, it's not even that. It's just keep being consistent with the story. Like,
well, that's true.
You know.
After 10 years.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of off-brand shit, man.
Everybody's for DVD alive. Sequels.
Yeah, man. One of the two has to either Jeff or Dr. Graham.
They bring the wife back. Or at least something. At least the American Pie spin-offs at least brought Stifler's brother.
Yeah.
Like something
yeah. Like a relic.
And the father. Like Jim's father.
I'm really proud of you for going on this trip. You're gonna have so much fun. And remember, if something chases you,
from genetics than a century of digging up bones. A whole new frontier has opened up. We have our first genetically modified hybrid.
You just went and made a new dinosaur?
Probably not a good idea. Almost 40 feet high. Really think she climbed out?
Depends.
On what?
What kind of dinosaur they cooked up in that lab?
Oh shit.
We would not have evolved the dinosaurs.
Okay, now I like that. They
evacuate the island.
My baby, Julianne Moore.
She's highly intelligent.
Okay.
Almost 40 feet high. Really think
She would kill anything that moves.
You're making it like a... You're turning it into like a horror movie. You got the music.
She will kill.
I'm sold. I'm sold.
I'm sold, but damn, man. I mean, we could have had at least some, maybe some old faces will.
What do you got against Chris Pine?
I have nothing. It's not him. I'm fine with him. It's just like they could bring some of the old faces back, man. I just like that old thing.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, I really don't like knockoffs either. I prefer it if they have the original cast. Like,
Yeah.
I normally don't even watch them. Like, I like Butterfly Effect. I've never seen the sequels. Stuff like that. Like, if you're not gonna have the original cast in it, I don't want anything to do it.
Or at least one or two fucking familiar faces, man. People love familiar faces.
But
They're called friends.
it's Chris Pine, so I'm like,
Okay, now I'm really dying to see
Terminator?
Yeah,
oh my god. Okay,
I've seen not one trailer yet.
James Cameron is one of my favorite directors
Oh, yeah, I love
because of the Terminator movies.
Yeah, fuck Aliens alone. I mean,
Terminator 1 is my all-time favorite movie, with the possible exception of Back to the Future.
oh shit.
But like, I love fucking
Big
Terminator.
statement.
That is.
I
like,
love Terminator 2.
That's my movie. Terminator 2, I know it's everyone's favorite, but I love the first one. The first
I
one
love
to
them
me
all.
is. I don't know
The
about
first
all.
two.
Okay, there you go.
3 was okay.
The first two.
3 was not that bad.
Oh,
It wasn't that bad at all, dude. And when you really think
the
it
third one.
culminates.
The third one had its moments, but it was like.
Ooh.
First of all, they killed Sarah Connor, which hurt me.
I mean, she had to die. I mean, sooner or later.
All right, the third one, I don't know. The third one it's not the first two.
It's not the first two, but it makes
Right.
It makes sense.
Look.
It culminates into everything that they
Look.
were going through and everything they
Check it out.
described.
Here's Terminator. Here's Judgment Day. Here's 3.
Right
there. It's like right around
Dude,
here.
it culminates into everything.
I did like the end when they're in the bunker and everything starts
Yes.
bombing off. That sets everything up beautifully.
It culminates into everything. It
Okay.
was Judgment. I mean, not Judgment.
Well,
Day,
it was
but
Judgment Day. Judgment Day was
okay,
postponed
but
to
it
the
was
second one, so
officially-
it's
right, it was
finally
officially
actually Judgment Day.
Right, it culminated.
I did like that one. It's just, I don't know, something about it wasn't Terminator to me. Like, it didn't have the darkness of the first two. To me, it was like trying to be light. When the first two were, like the first one especially, was just straight dark and gritty. You see what I'm
All right,
saying?
I can agree with that. I can agree with
And
that.
even the second one was dark. But the
Yeah.
third one wasn't dark. It was kind of, it was trying to be
like
light.
adventurous.
But
kinda like-
but it's the end of the world. The end of the world happened in that movie, and yet it was the most lighthearted out of all the Terminator movies.
maybe it was John Connor. Maybe it was who they got as John Connor. I don't know. I understand what you're saying.
It's just, it was
Yeah.
missing something that was
It was.
quintessential to Terminator.
Yeah,
All right, what did you think of the TV show?
I have not seen
You've
one
never.
episode. of it.
Oh, you watch Game of Thrones?
I've seen season 1.
Cersei Lannister.
Mhm.
She plays Sarah Connor in the TV show.
Okay.
And Summer Glau, who I love. Summer Glau, if you're watching, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. She plays the Terminator robot.
Okay.
And we learned a little bit about John Connor. The only thing that I don't like about the TV show, well, there's a couple things I don't like. The very first episode, they break the rule. Like, if you watch Terminator, they say they can't go forward in time, they can only go back. Very first episode of the Sarah Connor Chronicles, instead of just taking place in between season 2 and movie 2 and 3, which, I mean, it does technically, they jump forward in time. So it's like, well, but you can't jump forward in time.
Right.
It's stated very clearly, you can't jump forward in time. Yet they jump forward in time.
Yeah, breaking all the rules.
It makes no sense to me. And then it's in the present, and it's like, okay, once you get past that, which was hard to get past for me, it's like, alright. The second season, spoilers, ends with him going to the future again. With just John Connor, and he's stuck in the future. But then there's never another season. So if you're watching it in order, he jumps to the future, and then the next one is Terminator 3. How did he get back to the present? You can't end something like that on a cliffhanger. It bothers
It's
me.
kind of confusing too. Like, yeah.
But I don't think they should have broke that one rule that you can't jump to the future, because it's stated very clearly in Terminator, you can't go to the future. So in the future they can't go to the future, but in the present we have the technology to go to the future. When did we lose that technology? When does that technology no longer exist? Maybe I'm overthinking it, but that really bothers me. Last but not least, have you seen Salvation?
I've never seen Salvation. But
Even-
I've seen news in it.
Even
and I've
Kristen
seen,
Bell is pissed
Yeah,
off
Kristen-
at that movie, and I agree with him 100%. It's not a bad movie. I'm not saying it sucks. I'm not saying it's...
I've heard mixed reviews.
But the problem with it is, this is the movie that every Terminator fan has been waiting to watch since Terminator. We're finally in the future with John Connor. what do you expect to see? You expect to see John Connor kicking ass and taking names. Instead, he's some nobody who takes orders from all these people we don't know, don't care about, and some human robot cyborg takes over and is basically the lead of the movie?
Wow.
Fuck that. Even Christian Bale was pissed.
That makes me not even want to see it, bro.
Like the guy, I forget.
Was his dad around? Reese?
Yeah, I think he meant. The plot of the movie was his dad was about to die and he had to save his dad, but without his dad knowing that it's him. So yeah, his dad was there and he was saving his dad. His dad was a kid at the time and he was saving his dad. But the cyborg guy, he became the main focus of the movie about halfway in, and it's like, but John Connor, like he should be the focus, right? It was supposed to be the start of a new trilogy, and then that happened, and it's like, well, no one liked it. Yeah. But now they're finally making a fifth one, and it's only because Arnold Schwarzenegger's not governor anymore.
All right, we'll see. Let's check it out.
But he's finally back. Oh, in Salvation, they have like an Australian dude, and they CGI'd his face to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's legit if you watch it. Like, they tried. You gotta give them credit for trying. Let's see. But now we got Arnold back. Ooh. Everything better.
I look at each of you, and I see the marks of this long and terrible war. If we die tonight, mankind dies with us. The machine sent a Terminator back to the time before the war to kill my mother, Sarah Connor.
Sir, let me save her.
What you're doing right now, this is the end of the war. The time you're going back to should be scared and weak. Take care of her for me, Kyle.
Come with me if you want to live. Now, soldier!
This is all wrong. John sent me here to save you.
From the Terminator that was sent back to kill me, I know, but we already took care of him.
We? I've been waiting for you.
This time John sent you to, it no longer exists. Everything's changed. We can stop Judgment Day from happening.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely checking it out.
Back to the future, man.
So they're in the events of Judgment Day.
No, they're in the events of the first one.
Oh shit.
Alright, check it. That scene where Kyle Reese he comes back in the past and he's in the convenience store. That's in the first one.
Right.
This movie is the Terminator version of Back to the Future 2. It takes place at the same time as the first one. But through the time travel and all that shit, it got changed. Although that doesn't make sense in the Terminator timeline, kind of, because if you watch it, the robots were only invented because the robots went back in time. Because Skynet invented their technology based off the remains of the original Terminator robot. It's a what's that word? Paradox.
Yeah.
But it's still cool, man. They Back to the Future did.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
so sold, man. This shit is gonna be badass. I don't know if there's a trailer for it yet, but the 24th 007 movie is also coming out this year. I think it's the last one with Daniel Craig. And then that guy from Thor, the black dude who holds the giant sword.
Idris Elba. He's in The Wire, by the way.
They're talking about making him the new James Bond.
I heard about that.
I mean, like, I don't know what people like. They're like, because going from white to black. Like, I mean, if you could do it for Nick Fury and it works, you could do it for. Well, I have to see Fantastic Four before I say about Johnny Storm, but Kingpin worked pretty badass. Like,
I don't see why not.
He's at least he's British.
Yeah, he's British. I mean,
he's a good actor.
He's a good-looking guy. He's a good actor. I mean, what the fuck?
So I mean, I'm sold for it. Like, I want to see it. I love 007.
Let a brother in, man.
I mean, to be fair, he will never be 007 because the only 007.
Sean Connery.
Thank you.
Okay.
I agree. No one will ever touch Sean Connery.
Even though like Pierce Bronson, if that's his name.
The one before Daniel Craig.
Oh yeah.
I liked him a lot too.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot too.
Yeah, but Sean Connery.
But Sean Connery is 007.
That's
like,
no debate,
funny thing is, he's the only one who actually isn't British. He's Scottish. But I mean, he was amazing. Yeah. Like you watch, what was it, Dr. No?
Dr. No. Octopussy.
Oh man, those were classic movies right there, man. Yeah, like that's my.
There's no debate
now. Nah, there's no trailer for it yet. But I'm excited, man. Like I love the movies. I love Casino Royale. Have you ever read Casino Royale? No. That's the only James Bond book I actually read. I like it a lot. Quantum of Solace was alright, but I loved Skyfall. Skyfall was badass. Have you seen that one?
I have not.
Oh, you're missing out, man. Skyfall was badass.
The World Is Not Enough, Tomorrow Never Dies, and Goldfinger.
Those were good. All right, they're making. I don't know why they're making another Mission Impossible. Like another one. Like
is Tom Cruise in it?
Yeah, Tom Cruise is in it. It just
Scientology. Good. I'm gonna conjure up something in this cave.
It just is like, do you need another one?
Nah.
Do you like those movies?
They're okay.
Yeah, they're alright.
Part 2 was pretty decent.
I liked the last one. The last one I thought was pretty good.
I haven't seen the
last one. Ghost Protocols?
Yeah.
I thought it was better than 3. I didn't really care for 3. The first one was pretty cool. The second one was alright. Third one I didn't really care for. I liked the fourth one. But I don't think they need another one.
No.
Alright. Last but not least on the list of movies is well, I think everyone knows. I mean, talk about nerdy fan cult movies coming out. Star Wars. So how do you feel?
I'm all for it.
You're all for it? How can you be all for it?
I just.
All right. Disclaimer: I'm a EU fan. Like Star Wars, to me, there's 3 things that are the most important things to me. Marvel Comics, Star Wars, and Buffy. Those 3 things. And we'll get, Disney has now messed over Marvel and Star Wars. We'll get to Marvel in a minute. But the EU, to me, that's Star Wars. Like when I think Star Wars, I don't think the prequels, definitely no. I don't even think the original movies. I think the novels. I think Heir to the Empire. I think New Jedi Order. Those books, those characters, to me, that's more Star Wars than the movies will ever be. And Disney just tossed them all out so that they could start fresh and do their new thing.
Oh, so this is not even...
Well, it goes with the first 6 movies. No, it goes with the first 6 movies. They tossed out all the books, all the novels, all the comic books, all the video games. Everything that's Star Wars, except for those 6 movies and the cartoons, no longer counts.
Wow.
And it's like a lot of Star Wars fans, a lot of people who kept Star Wars alive for these past 30 years are offended.
So technically it kind of is not part of the canon.
What, this?
Canon.
Or the books?
Technically. Well, this.
Well, this is the new official canon.
So they're starting their own?
Yeah. The only thing it shares with the old canon is the 6 movies. So if you're a fan of just the movies, it still fits. But all the books and like Han Solo and Leia's kids, Luke and Mara Jade. Mara Jade doesn't even exist anymore.
So this is kind of like what Prometheus is to aliens.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like that.
And like... And the way they sold it too is that like, oh, it's based off of George Lucas's vision. This is what he would have done to continue. George Lucas just came out a few days ago and was like, yeah, I finally looked over what they're doing. They threw out my ideas. This is nothing of what I said. So they've been lying. Which, to be fair, it's J.J. Abrams. I don't know if you're a fan of Star Trek.
Yeah. I'm more of a Next Generation man myself. But...
Okay, but you've seen the original movies?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. JJ's movies came out, and I love the first one. I liked it because it was a reboot, but it stayed true to the old universe, and it even combined the old universe into it. I thought that was classy. The second movie was coming out, and everyone said it's Wrath of Khan. JJ went on record and said, Khan is not the villain, and this is not Wrath of Khan. I promise you. And he kept saying that over and over and over and over and over again. Over and over again. Into Darkness comes out, it's fucking Wrath of Khan. To the point where they use lines from Wrath of Khan, but give it to other characters. Wow. They switch Kirk and Spock's lines. Khan, it's a mystery that he's Khan, but then at the end you find out it's Khan. It's like everything JJ said the year leading up to the movie was a lie. Everything. If he had just come out and said it's a remake to Wrath of Khan, I probably would have liked Into Darkness. Disclaimer, I have it on Blu-ray. But I probably would have liked it a lot more, but he lied over and over and over again. And then you get in and he stole lines from Wrath of Khan.
That's what they do. So,
I mean, you can't trust anything he says because he lies about stuff. But anyway, here's the trailer.
Let's check it out. I kind of don't even like the way it looks, but...
Yeah, people have been bitching about the trailer a lot. Mainly because of what happened.
There has been an awakening.
I mean, when it comes to Star Wars, man,
have you felt it?
It's either hit or miss, man. You can't. People, especially like super fan, like the guys, like the older guys who were alive for that. You have to be perfect. They're such big fans of Star Wars. They're this bothers a lot of people, and it bothers me too. That it's a black guy, which a lot of people seem to be bothered by. It's the fact that he just stupid look right there. And I don't like the rolling joy. You know?
And the light.
But I gotta give them props for using the Millennium Falcon in the trailer. Because I do love my Millennium Falcon. But a lot of the diehard fans, like you were saying, they attached themselves to the novels because there were no movies. After the original trilogy, there was nothing. So they've been living in this world that has been created, that has been endorsed by George Lucas for the past 30 years. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's not canon. And not only did they say it's not canon, they're going out of their way to contradict things that are happening in that verse. And then they go out of their way to insult the people who like that stuff. It's like, these are the diehard fans. Star Wars has probably one of, if not the biggest fan bases out there. And Disney is going out of their way to spit on those fans.
It was, I didn't like it. I didn't like the trailer.
It doesn't look good.
It's just random shots.
Right?
No character development, no story at all. It's just...
And no one you know. They went out of their way to advertise that they got all the original cast back. And nothing. And there's no, you're right, there's no story. It's random shots.
It's just trying to sell itself. Like, hey, this is Star Wars. This is, look,
here's a Sith, here's a Millennium Falcon, and here's Stormtroopers. You don't need anything else. I've seen fake trailers that look a hell of a lot better.
I bet.
I think it's gonna suck. I think you'll make a lot of money, but I think it's gonna suck.
Oh yeah.
And like, you go on their websites, they started blocking it now, but on Del Rey Books, on StarWars.com, all their stuff, all of their comments were "Give us Legends" because they renamed the EU Legends. So fans would just bomb them daily of like, "Give us Legends, give us Legends, give us Legends," because they can't. Not only did they make this not canon, but they canceled our books. And there was a series. There was this thing called the Sword of the Jedi about Han Solo's daughter, Jaina Solo. And she was the Sword of the Jedi. And they were finally leaning to what that was because there was a prophecy this is going to be the Sword of the Jedi. And there's finally going to be a trilogy that was supposed to come out this year about what it means that she's the Sword of the Jedi. And she just married the Emperor There's like all this crazy shit happening, and they cancel those books even though they're finished writing. They finished writing them, and they're just not releasing them because like, no, we're this Disney canon now.
The only thing I liked about this is that this is going to take a lot of heat off of Phantom Menace. People are going to stop shitting on Phantom Menace now, and now they're going to start shitting on this new one right here.
Yeah,
I appreciate that because I actually like Phantom Menace.
I think it's gonna suck, man. It's gonna fucking suck. I'm sorry, like Marvel. Disney, they messed up, man. They shit on their fans. You can't buy a fan base and then shit on them.
Marvel's doing it too. Marvel and Fox are doing it too. Yeah.
All right, Marvel. Let's get to what Disney did to Marvel. Well, it's probably not Disney's fault, but I'm blaming them because they messed up Star Wars, and they technically own Marvel. So Marvel is doing this event called Secret Wars. Now, DC Comic Books has a history of rebooting their universe every couple years. Well, I mean, not every couple years, but every couple decades, they reboot their universe. Marvel has had the same universe since Marvel Comics #1 came out. Actually, since technically before that, because the Namor story in that one was a reprint of a comic strip, like from the newspapers. Mm-hmm. So Marvel has had the same universe since the 30s. The same universe. Every now and then they'll do something that's kind of like a soft reboot, but it's still in the same universe, still the same history. I mean, there was this short time in the 90s when they did like the new universe, but they retconned that universe into this universe by saying that it was created by Franklin and it was because of Onslaught. And they do alternate universes all the time because Marvel has the multiverse. Right. Our universe, the main universe, is 616. In 2001, they did a full hard-on reboot called The Ultimates, but that was an alternate verse. It didn't touch 616. It was a separate thing. And those two universes have been going like at the same time, you know? They're rebooting Marvel. It hurts. I don't know why they're doing this. A new Avenger comic books the past year or two, ever since Jonathan Hickman took over, they've been doing this thing where parallel Earths have been clashing into each other and destroying complete universes. And the only way to stop it is to destroy one Earth or the other. So the Illuminati, the Avengers Illuminati, have been destroying other worlds to stop the incursion, trying to stop it. Well, there's this event coming out called Secret Wars. I think it's the 4th Secret Wars that Marvel's had. And basically it's when 616 and the Ultimate Universe clash, because they're the last two universes. And it kind of forms this battle world, which is a universe. The story sounds pretty cool. It's pretty much every mini-series Marvel's ever had. Like, there's a section of the world, like, what happened if Civil War went on, and then there's, like, a Marvel Zombie world, and there's an Age of Ultron world, there's an Age of Apocalypse world. It's like, all that shit. That all sounds really exciting. It's going to be a cool arc. The problem is, when the arc is done, the world going on after that isn't going to be 616. It's not going to be the Ultimate Universe. It's going to be something new. It's going to be a new universe. Now, some of the characters will still be from 616. Some of the characters will still be from the Ultimate Universe. Some of the characters will be from other universes. It's basically a new universe made up of bits and pieces from all the other universes. It's cool, but it bothers me. It's not 616, and I like 616. And while, I mean, it'd be cool to do it for a little while, the problem is getting there, they're destroying the multiverse, essentially. So there's no more ultimate dimensions. That means Exiles is over for good, What Ifs are over for good. And how do you keep into the fact that all of the Marvel comic books have always, TV shows, all the cartoons, all that, have always taken place in the multiverse, including the live action movies, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Well, they're not clearly not ending that.
Where does Beyonder come in the Secret Wars?
In this Secret Wars?
Or if he comes out, or is he before or after?
Okay, well, you're talking about the Secret Wars from like the 80s, right? Was it the 80s or the 70s? I think it was the 70s. Well, he was wearing bell bottoms and he looked like.
But it lasted for a while.
Well, because he came back in Secret Wars 2. That happened way long ago, even in their universe, because that was the birth of Venom.
So this is the new Secret. Okay, right.
Well, yeah, and then a couple years ago, back when I started collecting comic books like real hardcore, they did another Secret Wars, and that was Nick Fury's Secret Wars, and it just had a few select characters. So this is the next Secret Wars.
Oh, okay.
This is the 4th time they've done it.
Secret Wars generation.
Yeah, but it's like they're rebooting it, and in the process of rebooting it, they're getting rid of the multiverse, which is a major part of the Marvel Universe, and I don't think they should get rid of it. But I predict this will be retconned out within 5-6 years. I don't think it's gonna last. I think 616 will come back.
Man, the fans got to start speaking out more, you know, because I've seen power in numbers, man. Like, I've seen fans.
Well, that's why the last time Marvel rebooted their universe, because they kind of did. After Onslaught, he killed the Avengers, he killed the Fantastic Four, he killed all them.
The fuck?
They killed them all off, and then they started a whole new universe with the Avengers and the Fantastic Four, whereas Spider-Man and the X-Men stayed in Earth 616, and they were two separate things. They didn't coincide, and in 616 they were all dead. Well, then that universe didn't sell well. So after a year, because Marvel leased those comic books out to a third party to write and create for a year, and sales were horrible. So afterward, they didn't renew the contract, and then they retconned them back alive into our universe. Whereas Franklin Richards, Reed Richards' son, did because he was a mutant. He's like one of the most powerful mutants, but his power is always like stopped by Reed Richards. He wished them into another universe, and that's what that other universe was. So they retconned it back. I think something like that will happen. The easiest way to do it would be Scarlet Witch. But I don't know. It bothers me that they're ending the multiverse in 616.
No Doom in there.
I love Doom. Doom is one of my favorite characters. You can't go wrong with Dr. Doom.
Oh, that'd be real sweet if they did that.
I don't know, man.
Doom
right now in the Avenger comic book that's leading to this, Doom is trying to stop it. He's working on his own to try to stop it because he doesn't think the Avengers are good enough to stop it.
Typical Doom.
Now, like, they're talking about, though, that, like, Peter Parker isn't going to be 616's Peter Parker in this new universe. There's going to be another Peter Parker. And it's like, I don't want another Peter Parker. I want our Peter Parker. The only two characters that I really care about that needs to be ours, like, other characters, like, I love Magneto, I love Venom, but if there's another character that's like them, I'm like, alright, you know, it's fine. But Peter Parker and Scott Summers needs to be 616's Peter Parker and Scott Summers. You can't give us another one. It won't work. They definitely need to kill off Steve Rogers and give us another Steve Rogers. Especially since he's an old man now, so give us an actual Captain America. Even though Falcon's kind of cool. I don't know. But last thing I want to talk about is, you ever watch Veronica Mars?
I have not, but I know what you're talking about.
Alright, Veronica Mars. Kristen Bell is so hot.
Yeah, I like it.
But Veronica Mars is one of like the greatest TV shows you'll ever see. It's in high school. She's a detective. Her dad is a PI, so she kind of PIs on the side. And every season is like a different mystery. Like the first season, she's trying to discover who killed her best friend. Second season, she's trying to discover who blew up a bus. Third season's kind of split in two. She's trying to discover a serial rapist, and she's trying to, it's really good. This third season, she's in college. And then there was supposed to be a fourth season where she joined the FBI, but the show got canceled. But 9 years later, they did a movie.
Yeah, the movie's been coming out lately.
Now, in the movie, it turns out she didn't go to FBI. They changed the plot a little bit because there was never a fourth season. But instead, after the third season, because it ends on kind of a downer, I'm not going to give away spoilers because you guys need to go watch it if you haven't seen it. But after she hasn't done a case in like 10 years. She went to become a lawyer. So she's been in Stanford. She's been going to law school, all that stuff. And she's about to become like a big-time lawyer when her ex-boyfriend, Logan Eccles, calls her up and is like, I need your help. I'm on trial for killing my girlfriend. I didn't do it, yada, yada, yada. So she stops what she's doing and she goes to help him. And over the course of the movie, she's like, I'm home. She starts being a PI again. And it ends with her back in her home. And it's a good movie. I love it. And after the movie ended, they came out with a book that takes place. It was written by Rob Thomas, the creator of Veronica Mars, and it's called $10,000 or $10,000 tan line or something like that. And it's pretty cool, but it's written like another movie. It's like Veronica Mars the movie too. It's about one case. She finally sees her mom again after like 10 years. Finds out she has a little brother. It's intense. It's a really good book.
I had to check Veronica Mars.
You need to, man. But the second book just came out Tuesday. I already finished reading it. That was so good. It's called Mr. Kiss and Tell. And I'm not going to give away spoilers, but if you've seen the movie, you know that Weevil got in kind of trouble. This book deals with what happens to Weevil. It deals with Veronica and Logan's relationship a little more. You get to see Keith Mars, what he does after the movie. I'm trying to sell it without giving away spoilers, but you got to really check it out. Like it's like the next season of Veronica Mars. Whereas the last book was like a movie, this one's like a season. You gotta check it out. It's amazing. I love Veronica Mars. Kristen Bell, if you ever become single again. But that's all I got. You got anything?
Nah, man.
All right. Well, this has been the second episode of John's Corner. Yeah, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Lorenzo.
Have a week.